Hi. After about a decade plus of people telling me that I need to do this, I need to start a YouTube channel, I need to do makeup tutorials, I'm finally here. Here we are. Let's do it. So all I have on my skin right now is this. I just got it. It's from XF. It's a hyaluronic acid serum, right? It's a hyaluronic hydrator. Hyaluronic acid hydrator. It's amazing. It's pretty lightweight, and that's literally all I have on my skin. I don't tend to do a ton of skin prep on myself just because a lot of what I use is really emollient and I don't want my makeup to like slide off my face by the end of the day. So I also have on I don't know how to pronounce it, but this lip mask, Laneige. I'm probably sounding really Midwestern and uncultured right now, but this is the shit. I usually start off with the St. Minerals BB cream. This is extremely well loved. I think it's gone, but we're gonna see if we can't just get a little bit left out of it. Okay, so as expected, barely anything came out, so I just went and grabbed a new one. I will be using a lot of St. Minerals products throughout this video, so if you want to try any of them, I do have a discount code. If you go on their website and type in Becca, you get 10% off your entire order. So I really like this as a base because it's SPF 25. It also just evens out my skin. It makes it look really glowy. And for me, I really like it as a primer. I like more coverage. People could use this on its own and be fine, but your girl needs a little help. So I apply it all over like foundation. I haven't done my hair yet today, so don't judge. Also, look how long my hair is. Hasn't been this long in like 10 years. She's feeling feminine. I feel like I could actually flick my hair over my shoulder instead of just pretending like I have been. Look at how nice and glowy and lightweight this coverage is. Okay, so I start with that and I let it sink in, and I usually do my brow gel because personally I like to have more of a laminated look. So I use Ellie Fix. It's a hard hold gel. I have an entire separate video on it. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this. I like to put this on before my foundation because I feel like if I do it after the fact, sometimes with the motion I'm doing with the brush, it can like scrape off a little foundation, and I don't want that. So I'm just styling this into place. Also, I really like to brush it in to make them nice and flat. And then I like to let this dry down a little bit before I start actually filling them in. This routine works well for me. And I will say this about makeup. There's no like hard and fast rules. I think that's one thing that a lot of my clients will ask me about. Like, okay, what about this? Like, what order should I do this in? And it's like, do whatever works for you. Now I'm gonna go in with my actual foundation, build up, put a mask on, okay? So as far as foundation goes, I have a lot that I can choose from and rotate between, but today I'm going to use cream foundation. It's from Mayron. So I'm gonna start in the center. This is also a St. Minerals brush, shameless plug. So I start in the center of my face just because that's where I want the most coverage. So I'm using this flat brush. I like it to apply the product, and then I will either go in with like a buffing brush or like a beauty blender or any sort of sponge to actually blend it out. I like something like this because it's a little bit firm, so I can really brush it in. But as far as getting rid of all of these foundation streaks, the brush strokes, I mean, you'd be stroking forever if you just use this brush. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with the beauty blender, just blend it out. Beauty blenders are great. You already know how great they are. It's gonna help to get off excess product, and it's going to blend away any of those harsh lines and give us a nice airbrushed finish. Love. I go in with contour first. I know a lot of people will go in with concealer. Really doesn't matter. This is my, again, well-loved Danessa Myricks contour balm. I love this product. It's a beautiful, cool tone shade, and it blends into the skin beautifully. So I'm gonna go in with this brush from Senna. It's kind of a basic eyeshadow, like flat brush. I don't go super crazy. Well, you might think I do, but I just like to keep these cheekbones high, this jawline sharp. Got a big forehead, so we're gonna turn this into an actual forehead and not a 6 head. Go down the sides of my nose. My nose is real crooked, so we just do the best we can. I like to go up in the crease of my eye, create a little bit of dimension. So you can see that this does not need to be perfect. We're gonna blend it out. And by we, I mean me. I'm also gonna go in and do my lips. I've never had any sort of filler or Botox, but do we like to pretend like we have filler? Yeah, we do. This is a brush from my Kitco. I just like to go through with circular / buffing motion, blend this out so it's not a harsh line. The goal of contour is to give dimension to your face. I know a lot of people do it to change their features completely, which I think it can look really good in a picture, but in person, it's a little scary, in my opinion. Work. Okay, so as far as concealer, I use the St. Minerals concealer. It's peptide based, so it's good for plumping and anti-aging, which your girl needs. Again, well loved. So you know I'm not lying, you know I actually use it. So I'm gonna use this little mini synthetic foundation brush. So when I'm doing concealer, I always focus on the inner part of my eye. If you have dark circles, this is where it's always gonna be the darkest. So I focus here, and then I tend to use the least amount of product on the outer corner because this is where it tends to crease anyways. And most people have smile lines, and we don't want a ton of product settling into those lines. So I like to put it down the sides of my nose. Try to make my nose look a little bit smaller, but honestly, nose contour, not my strong suit. I'll go in my lash lines, into here, and I go underneath. Try to make these cheekbones high, baby. So seeing as how this is such an emollient product, as I've said, I like to kind of let it sit. I don't typically blend it out right away. I want to let it dry down and do its thing. Otherwise, sometimes I feel like you're just moving product around and you have to constantly blend it out. So I'm actually gonna go and start with my brows. Okay, so as far as brow products, I'm using St. Minerals. This is the Blonde 01. I like to go in with two different colors. I like to have a lighter one as my base, and then I actually go in with a darker color to, you know, give a little drama to the ends of my brows. Even though I am really blonde, I like to have everything a little bit darker. Whenever I'm doing brows, I always start at the arch of the brow. I think especially if people are newer to filling in their brows, I notice that a lot of my clients, they tend to be a little bit heavy-handed. So I think that when you're starting out here, you get a good feel for how hard you're pressing. And then I always follow the direction of the hair growth. I didn't finish my thought. I think it's good to start out here because this is the part that you want darkest anyway. I think a lot of people tend to start in the front. And again, it takes you a second to figure out how hard you're pressing. So if you're starting right here, it's gonna be really heavy in the front, and that's typically not a very flattering look on most people. So I'm gonna start on the ends. I love having a brush like this with a spoolie on the end so you can brush out any product if you're getting a little too heavy-handed. So I have a little hole right here where I got a little tweezer happy in the early 2000s. Whoops, I messed that up. That's okay, we'll fix it. So again, just following the direction of the hair growth. And it's nice because the pomade that I used earlier is giving a really nice grip. Okay, so now that I have a good base going with the blonde color, I like to go in with a darker brown. Also St. Minerals, this is in 03 in the original packaging. So seeing as how I don't have any hair right there, I like to go in and make sure that this little hole is definitely covered up. And I just go through what I already did. I just think that using two different colors adds dimension. This is not something that you need to do. I mean, I could definitely make an entire like hour-long video just about filling in your brows. Maybe we'll save that for another day. So now that I have that done, I'm gonna go in and blend out my concealer. Again, I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in and carve out my brows just a little bit. I like to use a little bit of concealer. So remember when I had a little oopsie on this side? I'm gonna go in and clean that up, and it's gonna make everything just look a lot sharper. So for that, I'm gonna use this Kevyn Aucoin foundation balm. Yeah, it's really dry. So because my eye shape is hooded, my lashes tend to hit my eyelids. So anything that's drier is a bonus. I'm gonna use this brush. Don't judge me. Again, a little goes a long way with this, and I don't want it to be super, super obvious. That's a lot of product. As I'm like, I don't want it to be really obvious, and then it's like a shit ton. I mean, look, this is way more than enough for both my eyebrows. Oh my god, that's way too much. It's fine. I'm going with another synthetic brush and just blend that out. Well, now I blended my brow way too much. That's okay. I think that's one of the ways that I actually got good at doing makeup is because I got really good at fixing my mistakes. Because let's be honest, it happens. So like, not to worry. I think people get really stressed out when they do makeup, and makeup should be fun. I mean, I know that it's not fun if you are having a hard time with blending or understanding how any product works, but the beautiful part about it is that it washes off. So like, tomorrow's a new day. Everything's gonna be great. No, that still doesn't look good. Well, she's being humbled on her first video. It's okay, guys. Just practicing being vulnerable. What the fuck? Okay, this is quite possibly like the worst my eyebrows have looked in a really long time. We're gonna go back with the same busted brush and try to fix this one little area. I'm gonna come back to it. This is why you have to like skip around a little bit, because I could sit here and obsess over this for the rest of the video, but we're not gonna do that. I'm gonna go in with blush now, which is my fave. So this is Danessa Myricks. What are these called? Cool, I don't know. Danessa Myricks and Sunset. This is really, really, really bright and very bold. So we're gonna use a small amount of that. And also this is my new obsession, Made by Mitchell Liquid Blush. Blursh is what it's called. Fire. Like, I usually will use something like this and then I usually go over with a powder blush. But this, for whatever reason, the texture, the payoff, it is everything. So I love. Now I'm gonna go in with literally the smallest amount possible with this because this is really intense. Oh God, okay, maybe a little more than that. Oh fuck. Cool, cool. I'm still continuing to be humble because my phone ran out of storage. So let's try this again. I put on the Danessa Myricks and now this is the Made by Mitchell Blursh. I mean, look at that. It's so good. This pastel coral moment. Now I'm gonna be now I'm gonna be paranoid looking at my phone that it's running out of storage. Oh my gosh. I mean, I just gotta get up in there. Oh, I just sounded a little southern, didn't I? Get up in there. Is that southern sounding? No one here really has a southern accent. It's kind of a bummer. Now that the blush is popping, I'm gonna go in and do my eyes. I love Danessa Myricks, so I'm gonna go in with the Nude 12 Color Fix. I have a little bit on my synthetic brush here, and I just like to apply it over my lids. And you can tell this isn't very neat. So then I like to go in with the blending brush and blend out the edges. You can use this on its own. I just like to use this as a base for other eyeshadows and pencils. It just lasts a lot longer. So because my eyes are more hooded, I do like to keep my eyes open for the most part, just to make sure that I can still see the eyeshadow when my eyes are open. I think that's a big thing that I see with most people, is that if you do have hooded eyes, they kind of just keep it to their lid when you actually need to be blending it outwards and upwards. Nice. So I like to go in with a little bit that's still left on my brush and go underneath my eyes. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with a bronzer in my crease and just continue to set the eyeshadow and really blend everything out so there's no harsh edges. For eyeliner, this is Smolder from MAC. I just like to go in my lash line, and this does not need to be perfect because I'm going to smudge it and blend it out anyway. So now I'm gonna go in with the pencil brush. This is the MAC 219, and just blend. I just like getting the depth by my lashes. Doesn't necessarily need to be like a full-on smoky look. Going back in with this bigger fluffy brush and just blending everything together. Now these I use in pretty much every makeup application. I'm obsessed. This is the Bodyography Glitter Pigments. I have the entire collection and I love every single one of the colors. I'm gonna go in with Stellar. These are perfect because I feel like they're kind of cheating because no matter what you do, it makes any look amazing. So I usually use my finger. I'm just gonna go and tap it on in the center of my lid. And I'm gonna go over the eyeliner that I just put on. Again, everything just adds dimension and depth and it makes it look like you tried really hard even though you didn't. And because I don't have any powder on the center of my lid, it's still a little bit sticky from the Danessa Color Fix. So it gives a really nice grip. And then once it dries down fully, she's bulletproof. And again, because I'm extra, I'm gonna go in with some liquid liner. This is from Hourglass. And I'm not really trying to give myself a wing today. I just want the lash line to look more defined. I'm just applying this haphazardly. Words are my friend. Okay, so seeing as how I'm mostly done with the eye look, I'm gonna go and set everything with powder. As you can see, I don't have Botox, like I said, so all of the makeup has kind of settled into any fine lines and wrinkles, so I'm gonna blend that out because I don't wanna set those fine lines into place. I'm gonna use the By Terry hyaluronic acid powder. It's kind of like a wet cooling effect. It's really hydrating, so I really like to use it for mothers of the bride, any sort of mature skin type, or even any skin type that's dry. This just sits really, really beautifully. So I do like to go in and do a little bit of baking. I'm gonna use the Ultra HD setting powder by Makeup Forever. I mean, so this isn't like a proper bake. This is like an air fry, maybe. Because I am middle-aged, right? I don't want so much powder sitting on my skin. So I kind of like haphazardly do it. And then I'm gonna go in with my mascara, tried and true, Maybelline Sky High. It lasts on me all day, it doesn't smudge. Okay, so now I like to go in with just a little bit more coverage. This is the St. Minerals Pressed Foundation Powder in 01. So I'm gonna brush away my baking. I think it just gives me that little bit more coverage, and then also makes my skin look perfected. And this also has SPF 25 in it. So I love keeping this in my purse. If I'm out and it's a sunny day, I know that I'm good to go. I know that I'm protected. This is the St. Minerals bronzer. Just going to put this over the areas that I put my contour in to set that into place and deepen everything up again. Okay, so let's begin the detailed process in doing my lips. So it's no secret that I overline my lips. I'm gonna start with the Scott Barnes Glamazon Lip Liner in Kate. And I'm just gonna go right outside my natural lip line. And I'm gonna go in with an orangey color. This is a palette that I made a while ago. I have no idea what this is. I'm going with this color right here. It's kind of like a reddish orange. So this is where I really like to go for it. This is another Scott Barnes lip liner. This one is in Naomi. I'm gonna go in and basically contouring my lip. So I want it to look the most pouty in the center of my lip and at the top. But I mean, sometimes I go all around if I want it to be a more ombre look. Just depends on what I'm feeling. So we'll see what happens. Isn't she pouty? Just going in really lightly on the corners. I definitely want the focus to be in the center though. Now to really tie everything together, I'm gonna go back in with the blush. What color is this? Can't Cope with Coral. All right, the hair is a little zhuzhed, a little styled. People still say zhuzhed, who knows? The look is done. Thank you so much for watching my first ever YouTube video. If you guys want to see anything in particular, let me know in the comments and I will catch you later.